Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner. Next episode of my hard mode playthrough. I believe this will be episode 41, and in the last episode we achieved the goal of completing all tasks in Michigan, including the contests. And the only thing we've got left to do, we've ticked off all of the Husky forwarding, all of Dyson Diesel. The only thing we've got left to do are 4 logging missions, which I've left till last, partly because at one point I had decided not to do them, then decided to do them, then decided not to do them, etc. Mainly because logging equipment is quite expensive. And I've been through basically the completionist in me. I don't want to move on until I've done it. So I'm 96% complete on Michigan, which is pretty good, and I don't want to move on until I'm 100%. So, I've been through these tasks, and I've got a little spreadsheet running where I've listed all of the tasks, worked out what needs to be delivered where, and in total there are 8 loads of long logs need to be delivered, and 16 loads of medium logs need to be delivered. So that somewhat dictates the truck choices. The other thing I've decided to do is I am going to try, I don't know how well it'll work, because I do want to get this done, but I am going to try using the logging crane, and then we'll see how the edits work out. So I'm going to buy a logging crane rather than pay, and it's actually cheaper to not use a logging crane. It's cheaper to auto load. But in keeping with hard mode, it feels like I should use the crane. And the crane is, because it's an add-on, I can use it on other regions. It's only trailers that are a bit of a suspect investment, because once I've finished with them on this region, in hard mode, I can't sell them back to recoup any of that cost. Whereas a crane, I can take to another region. So it's worth it in the long run of the game, and it's in keeping with hard mode. So, how are we going to do this? I've prior to starting recording, I've brought my 3 big trucks to Black River Garage. So I've got the Fleet Star, the White Western Star, and the Pacific. And from a customization perspective, there's not too many choices for the long logs. You've got to use a long log carrier, so I'm going to buy one of those, and I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to stick it on the Pacific, which is satisfying for me because, as I've said before, the YouTube algorithm gave me a bit of a documentary about the history of Pacific, and they were originally built as logging trucks, and it feels nice to be using one for that job. So the Pacific is going to be the long log vehicle. Bring it around to the trailer park, trailer store. Trailer park is not quite what it is, but and then I will purchase the log carrier rear. Now this is expensive, right? This is $14,100, and it's not something I can use after I've finished this region. I can obviously use it on the other maps in this region by driving it there, but I can't move it via the retain mechanism via garages, so this is expensive, but it is less than the reward that you get for doing the mission, so it's justified in my head. So bang, that's our long log rig done. Next is the crane to load that. So I am going to buy for $7,900 this crane. Purchase, done. If I sell it back in hard mode, I would lose 50% of its price. And these cranes, from watching other people's episodes, these cranes are not easy to use, so we'll see how I get on with it, see if I hate it. But there you go. That is a setup that between these two vehicles now, they are able to do long logs. And then the third one is... Oh, wrong button. I was trying to get into the garage there. There you go. White Western Star is going to get the medium, because you can't put a medium on the P16 anyway. But again, it's because they're add-ons, I feel okay spending this money because the add-ons can be used on other regions. I started this episode with 207,000 because I had done the remaining contests after getting gold at least once on all of the ones that we had done before. I got 207,000. Now this next purchase is a little bit suspect in terms of whether it's a sensible thing to do. But here's the thing. If I don't buy this trailer, so this trailer is very expensive, it's 14,000 again. But if I don't buy it, I've got to do 16 trips in the White Western Star of medium logs all over the map, all over the 4 maps. If I buy it, I've got to do 8 trips. So time is money. I want to get to Alaska. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's potentially a bad business decision, but I'm buying it. And there you go. That is my logging setup, ready for the next few episodes, because I'm not going to be moving 24 loads of logs in one episode. Obviously, it's going to take me a while to do. So what I'm going to do now is jump into the Pacific, and I will move these vehicles to the Black River logging camp, and we'll get this map done first. So I will stage them all there and then I'll be back. Right, here we are. Ready for our first go. I haven't brought the White Western Star, we'll focus on long logs for a minute. So, engine on. Crane long logs on the loading platform. Yes, please. And then crane mode. I've never used this crane before, so I really have no idea what I'm letting myself in for. So when you put 1 long log on, I thought it did 3. Oh, I need to do it 3 at a time, don't I? So let me escape out of that. Cargo. And do 3 long logs. And now, crane mode. I don't know how to open the jaws. So I can rotate it. I might have to go into immersion mode, break immersion mode for a minute, just to allow me to see what the controls are for this type of crane. Crane. So, oh, grab, release. Okay, that makes sense. So it's a space bar is a release on the normal crane. Grab and lift. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about this Fleet Star as being a stable enough platform for this. but I don't really have too many choices. Although obviously, well, I could lift one log at a time rather than lifting two, or trying to lift two. Let's move that one. Release. Release that one. Of course it's dark, so that doesn't help. The first time I'm doing this is also in the dark. It doesn't like the way that I've got that. I think it's because I got them both too far forward. And also, and dark doesn't help, but the perspective is difficult. I thought I was low enough then. Right, that's that one on a bit better. Different, isn't it? Wrong button. Literally wrong button. Gotta lift it over that. That's two at least inside. Whether or not I don't know how fussy it is about the packing angle. Be nice if they marked the center of the log to give you a bit of an idea on center of gravity. This is even harder than log handling in Farming Simulator, which I suck at. So this is going to be interesting. That one feels like it's balanced at least. Turns quite aggressively. Restore the crane, engine off, change truck, Pacific, and see if I can pack. I can pack. So that's the first load loaded. From a time perspective, it's probably not cost effective. Let me just turn off that immersion setting because I don't like it. I don't like it. Right. So, before I start the engine, so these three logs have got to be delivered to the lumber mill. So, I was thinking that probably the route for that is the same route that we took in with the large construction rig trailer. Maybe. It's a bit risky, but we use this truck with what I believe is a bigger trailer, but I don't know its the relative weight and stability. So I'm going to see how the logs feel and make a decision when I get here as to whether I go down through the route that I used for the large construction rig and then into the lumber mill from this side, or whether this cargo feels unstable enough that I would just go around the bridge, because it's not that much longer really when you look at it. So it might be that I decide to do, but I'll make a decision when I get to that junction. So lights on. Pacific, you're now being used for the thing you were born for, mate. Which is logging in Canada, but we're not in Canada yet. So let's just see how this goes. I haven't got the most powerful engine yet, so I am a little bit at the mercy of the stock engine. The other thing I haven't discussed yet this episode is that fuel for this is going to be quite tight, and fuel for this is going to be very tight. I doubt if I've got enough on this map or Smithfield Dam to do those in tanks, so I'll likely be buying fuel as part of this next number of episodes. Yeah, and I want to get this done as quickly as I can from an episode perspective. Obviously it'll take as long as it takes to drive it, but I want to get it done. So I'm going to be showing the full drive for at least one trip of each type of journey, and I'll record everything, but I feel relatively comfortable cutting repetitive stuff. We'll see. I just don't want this to be 10 episodes of logging, basically, which it could easily be when you got 24 loads to move. If I just do that, especially with manually loading the crane, if I just do that as real time, it's going to be between 7 and 10 episodes, I would bet. And I'd like to get it done in, well, ideally I'd like to get it done in less than 5, so maybe 4 episodes to cover 1 per map. But some of the later tasks require you to pick logs up in one map and bring them to another map. So I have to pick this exact load up, long logs, and take them to Smithfield Dam, for example, and deliver it to the other side of Smithfield Dam. And if I were to record that and then put it into episodes as a real-time one-to-one thing, then that's easily 10 episodes. So we'll see. I don't want to skip meaningful content, but I also don't want to bore myself and others trying to talk over exactly the same repetition. So there's a fuel trailer just ahead of me in the waypoint, you can see, and that's I literally just while I was moving the crane lorry on the Fleet Star, I just moved that fuel trailer here. I don't need it right now, but I just moved it so that it's on the route of all of the logging journeys. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm okay for fuel to get in and back out again. But yeah, that's only got 900 litres. I might as well fill up seeing as I stopped and opened it, but 858 litres, and that is all of the fuel that I have on this map, and I don't have much more than a few dribbles left on Smithfield Dam either. Right, I am going to go for it. I've got to try it at least once, haven't I? And if this is terrible, then I will do the other 2 trips, because I've got to do this exact load from the same source into the same destination 3 times. If this is terrible, I will do the next 2 around the road. Like I say, it might even be quicker to go by the road because it's safer and you can probably maintain a bit more speed. But given that this truck performed admirably bringing the large construction rig through this same route, I think it should be fine with these logs, because I feel that this is an easier trailer than the large construction rig. Good old Pacific, still my favourite. I know I'm not there yet, but I still love this truck. It's an absolute beast. I've done this on campaign mode, but I'm pretty sure I went the road route and it was just auto loading, kind of easy mode stuff. But I do remember doing this logging mission at least. Right, so this is the bit from now on is the slightly dodgy ground. I think it should be okay, but this is... I wouldn't really want to do this in reverse, because coming up the hill out of the sawmill is quite difficult, but going down it should be okay. And then reversing the trip with an empty trailer should also be okay. I don't like the idea of coming up this hill in this truck with a load on, but empty it should be okay. Lots of shoulds in there. Right, delivery 1 of 3 long logs. Done. And then I retrace my steps without jackknifing my trailer. Well, we're jackknifing it too much anyway. Right, so I'm going to go back exactly the same way. Yikes. Okay. Change truck. Back into the Fleet Star. Out. Pacific. Pack the cargo. Drive in the daylight. Right, this is us arriving back at the sawmill with our second batch. Started raining about halfway here. I topped up again with fuel on the way, and it had used just under half a tank round trip from the fuel tank, deliver back, reload, back to the fuel tank. So yeah, we may have a fuel issue, but we'll see. Unload. That's the second of 3. One more to go. Using trailers again. It's quite a short wheelbase trailer, isn't it? There we go. It's actually quite a funny looking trailer thing. I get obviously it's based on real life, but I like the way that the concept of it, where they both swivel, the one on the vehicle and the one on the trailer both swivel to allow you to do corners. Pretty cool. Right, let's get back and reload for the third trip. Right, here we are, arriving back with the third and final load of long logs for this particular delivery at this location. And that's effectively half, well, not quite half, so here's the thing. For this contract now, we've done the 3 long logs. We now need to do 6 batches of medium logs, and that's the White Western Star's job. So let's jump into the White Western Star. Lights on, and so it's 6 batches but 3 trips because I bought that trailer, and I think that's value for money, to be honest. So I will get this over to the logging camp and see you there. Right, here we are. White Western Star at the logging camp. Very dark, unfortunately, and obviously medium logs take twice the amount of loading effort, I would say. Is that fair? Fair assessment? So I'm going to try and park like at a T across the back and see if I've got the reach to put them in from there, because obviously they're going to be lighter than long logs. Handbrake. Switch into Bleach Star. Engine on. We want medium logs on the loading platform. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, same drill. Auto loading would definitely be a lot faster and probably a lot more cost effective, because I'd be moving on and earning from the other missions and getting to Alaska that much quicker. But it's a part of the game and I don't really want to skip it. So will it pack both the trailer and the load? Yes, it will. Right, okay, so I've got to deliver these to, I've got to take 3, and I've only got 2, so farm, 3 to the farm, and then 3 to town storage. And I will do the farm first, I think, not for any particular reason. I'm not... Town storage, do I go through the lumber mill? Do I retrace the steps that I've just done? Possibly. Right, so down to the farm, which basically is down past the fuel station. After the fuel station, turn left. Other than that, same route out. Power to weight wise, this is a much less favourable equation, I think, than the Pacific. So the Pacific with long logs has probably got more power to weight, or better power to weight ratio than this with 2 lots of mediums. So I bought this trailer, I'm going to bloody use it, but it might be that it's going to make this very hard. be alright once you're on the road, I think. It's just the... this is a fair old climb out. It's going to be really hard for me to judge the duration of these logging episodes, because there is quite a lot of long, more so than normal, there's quite a lot of long trips that I will edit out to avoid this becoming 2 episodes of just Black River. So yeah, it's difficult for me to tell at the moment how I'll get this into a normal 45 to 50 minutes. For me seems to be normal. Well, 45 minutes to an hour. I do try to keep all the episodes under an hour. But by the time I've done the edits, this might be 30 minutes, I don't know. I missed the crane loading of, I think, the 3rd long log trip, because I was in OBS I set pulls thinking that I'd be more efficient and just record the bits I know I'm not going to cut out, and then I forgot to unpause the recording, so it's only the crane loading that got missed. Everything else I realised before I got to the delivery what I'd done. This is easily the heaviest cargo that we've done in the White Western Star. It's pretty cool textures and graphics on those logs, isn't it? With the way that they're all unique, proper looking logs. I used to see a logging truck when I used to drive to work. I had about an hour's commute on that particular job. And I drove down the motorway, the M4 in the United Kingdom. For about 3 years I drove every day for about an hour each way for my daily commute. And I used to see a logging lorry going westbound every morning full of logs. And then it became repetitive enough because I drive at the same. I drive generally at the same time of day every day when I'm commuting, and I pretty much see the same lorry every single day full of loads. And then in the evening, it was a different lorry, but in the evening, I'd see a different lorry full of logs going eastbound, other direction. And I always used to think to myself, why doesn't the guy that's bought the logs in the morning buy them from the place that's near him that's obviously selling them and shipping them east? Why don't those two people that are buying logs just swap who they buy them from and avoid having to ship? Effectively, I know they're not the same logs. I know there's going to be reasons why. There's going to be commercial or maybe the timber type or whatever. But it just used to strike me as funny that you'd see effectively the same cargo being towed down the motorway in both directions on a daily basis. What's the carbon footprint of that? And you have to ask yourself, what would Greta think? Right, engine off, unload 1, unload 2, one more to go. So now we're going to go back, retrace my steps, sunrise again, so as before the first trip of the day. That just shows you how long it took to do those previous 3 trips, right? Because I think the day cycle is an hour. So the long log started in the night, middle run was in the day, last run was in the late, sort of early evening. And then we've just done the same on this one. So this is going to end up as being probably 2 hours of recording that I'll try to edit down. Alright, we're back. Nice bit of sunny daylight for a change. This will be a split load. We'll put 2 lots of medium logs on again, same as last time, but this time one lot goes to the farm, the other lot goes to the municipal warehouse in town. Split pack. Yep. Cool. Right. Drive out in the daylight for a change. So yeah, drop one of these off at the farm and then take the other one into the town. And if I had a choice, I'd want it to unload the trailer at the farm so that I can run around to the bridge from the farm, drop the trailer at the bridge and run into town with just the truck. But I bet it's going to unload the truck and I'll have to tow the trailer with an empty truck. whatever. So true to form, the sun didn't last too long. Michigan rain again. No wonder the place is always flooded and marshy. Right, so yeah, I would like this to take the one cargo off the trailer. I'd like to have the choice, but I'm pretty sure from a similar scenario with a trailer before that it emptied the truck first. We'll adapt and we'll deal. It'll be fine, but just if I had a choice, that's what I would do. So unload. Yeah, of course it did. Right, so we've now got to take this on to town and then come back and get one more load. And unfortunately it always feels like the empty truck is easily dominated by a full trailer. So I'll have to be a bit careful. It's mostly road, it should be okay. But yeah, I don't want to be complacent with it, because this is a fairly classic jackknife type of scenario where the weight on the trailer can overpower the truck. Right, here we are. We have arrived. Kind of feels like a strange cargo to be taken into this warehouse, because you would have thought that the sawmill would be the only place equipped to deal with logs like this. But whatever. Town mayor orders logs, the town mayor's going to get some logs. Unloaded. So, farm finished. Sawmill finished. Warehouse. 2 more batches of logs required. Right, here we are. Back for the final load of this episode. 2 lots of medium logs, please, crane driver. Pack her up. Tell you what, I am sure glad that you only have to load 3 logs, and then when you do pack, magic happens. But you haven't got to load all of those individually. Bloody hell, be there all day. Right, so last trip of this episode into Town Warehouse. Alright, so I opted for the road route in the end rather than going through the drilling site. Just a little bit less stressful, more relaxing drive. I don't think it's more than a few minutes longer, and I know I'm going to have edited. I'm going to have to edit a fair bit of that driving anyway, because it's just driving down the road with a safe cargo. So yeah, I took the road route. I'm sure that the cross-country route would have been fine, but yeah, just a bit more chill. Okay, so handbrake, engine off. This should complete this contract. 1, 2. Beautiful. So we've got some of our money back for the investment we made in logging equipment. And that is the first of 4 logging missions. And I'd love to complete them 1 per episode. And then we're off to Alaska in 3 episodes' time. That's my plan. So, briefly, before I actually finish this episode, let's have a quick look. The interesting thing about the next one is that some of these, so there's long logs and medium logs, both required. And you can only get long logs in Black River or Drummond Island. Let's just double check that. Drummond Island does long logs. Yeah. So, where that task requires long logs in Smithfield Dam, there, for example, the way to do that is to take that long log from Black River. So I'm not gonna, next episode we'll basically start back at the same logging station that we're at, and we will grab with the Pacific. So basically the Fleet Star with the log crane kind of dictates what we're doing, because you don't want to move it backwards and forwards. So where a task requires logs from Black River, I will do that first before then moving the Fleet Star to the next map for the next logging location. So another one, for example, is logs to the workers. This is 2 lots of long logs, both in Smithfield Dam. So I'll get those. In fact, I might even do that one next, because it's 1 contract with just 2 deliveries, and it'll be a good opportunity to do the inter-map deliveries. I'm going to try, I think it should be fine. I'm going to try and bring the long logs across that bridge. Well, not bridge, across that broken down road. So that's quite a swampy road, but I think most people tend to use that road. I've seen it, that road is a part of Mr. Lone Wolf's truck reviews. Every single time he does a truck review, he seems to come crashing across that. And most trucks cope with it. Admittedly, he's not doing that with cargo on, but even so. So yeah, next episode, we will probably do logs to the workers first and get 2 lots of long logs out of here and into Smithfield Dam. 1 down into the quarry, my favourite. That's a bit risky. And then 1 into the drilling site, which I don't think will be too bad at all. So yeah, that'll be the next episode. In terms of this episode, I'm going to wrap this one here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I've enjoyed doing logging. I'm glad I've decided to do it. It feels good from a completion perspective to hone in on that 100% complete and then move on to some snow. within a week. That sounds good to me. Okay, so yeah, thank you and goodbye.